a quirky fact about Rosie is that she enjoys, in fact, she loves Lego, from the small sets to the unbelievable 4,000 piece kind. So welcome, Rosie.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Louise. So if you feel like you missed it last year, we don't think that's the case. I wanted to talk to you today about Starbucks. So let me just level set around what Starbucks is and then talk you through why we like it. Starbucks is the largest coffee company in the world. They have about 29,000 stores across 29 countries. They have 95 million transactions a week and a market cap of about $90 billion. There are three main divisions. The first one is the US business. It's about 15,000 stores. They've got 3,500 stores in China, and they also have a channel development group. What I mean by that is that's their consumer products group. So it's coffee pods, coffee beans, that sort of thing. So why do we like it? There's three main reasons. Firstly, the strong brand. Secondly, we see this asset as defensive. And thirdly, because we think it has a multifaceted growth profile. So to start with a strong brand, Starbucks has done a great job of building a very personalized product and doing it consistently and en masse, which sounds kind of counterintuitive, but what they've done is created your own special coffee. You can get that at any store you go into, and that really connects with customers. It has a very loyal following, and I think a key part of that following is also that their customers have become very acclimatized to that Starbucks taste. That keeps them coming in, it keeps the revenue and the earnings stable. The other reason we like it is that we see it as a defensive asset. So if you think about coffee, it's habitual. Another way of saying that is that it's addictive, which means that you keep getting the revenue, you keep getting people coming through and buying more. And we think it's defensive in another angle, which is if you look at the retail space and what's happening at the moment, there's a lot of disruption through the internet. We don't see that for Starbucks because it is a destination. It's a place that you go. You cannot send Amazon to drink your coffee. The other reason that we like it is the multifaceted growth. Let me talk through each of the divisions in terms of what it offers. You've got the US business. The US business, it's about 70% of the company, so it's definitely the more mature angle, but they do continue to have store growth opportunities. They also have people now coming in buying food, attaching that to the beverage purchase, in addition to beverage innovation, so nitro brew, cold brew, refresher drinks. All of that is bringing new customers to the store and continuing the excitement that they have for the existing customers. They have a very strong membership rewards program. However, there has been a hurdle historically, which is that you had to preload your card. They've got rid of that, brings in more people, members shop more, they spend more, they visit more. But they also want to connect with the non-members. So they've had a program over the last 6 months of signing up people, whether it's through the app, it's through email. They've collected 10 million additional potential customers over 6 months, which is really impressive. And getting those less frequent customers to come in more by personalized marketing, specific offers direct to their email address, that's a growth opportunity over the next few years. Let's move on to China. The China business has 3 different areas of growth. Firstly, the Chinese middle class is expected to double over the next 4 years. If you think about the Chinese consumer, the average Chinese drinks less than 1 cup of coffee every year. You think about that in terms of the US, the average US consumer drinks 300 cups of coffee a year, so roughly 1 a day. So there's a real opportunity there to get that consumption up. The other thing about China, if you look at the US population, you've got a population, there's about 20,000 people per store. In China, there's per Starbucks store. In China, there's 500,000 people for every store. Even if you just take just the middle class, it's 100,000 people per store. So there's a real growth opportunity in China, both in the number of stores, people becoming wealthier and buying Starbucks, and also drinking more coffee. Then we look at the channel development group. Starbucks has always been strong in the US in selling coffee beans and coffee pods, but not internationally. They recently signed an alliance with Nestle. Nestle is number 1 market share across all coffee products. They've got about 25% market share. They've got a great distribution system. They're in 190 countries, and they've signed up so that Starbucks can sell their products through Nestle's distribution system around the world, which we think is another really great opportunity. But it's not just about the revenue growth. It's also about the cost-cutting program and about their commitment to return capital to shareholders. They're going to return $25 billion over 3 years. We're 1 year into that program. They've got about $16 billion left. That's about 20% of the market cap coming back to you as shareholders over 2 years. So when you put all of that together, we see a company that can grow their net income 7 to 10%, add onto that some buybacks, that's about 3%, add onto that some dividend yield, about 3%, so you get a total return, we think, of around that 15%, mid-teens type level. You get that return for a 24 times price to earnings multiple, and in the context of the strength and the longevity of what we see that growth, which could in fact be multi-decade, in addition to a very strong brand and a very defensive product, that's why we like Starbucks. Thank you.